Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG WTF LOL FTWBRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016 when we're playing as the WWF in the year 2001 and we are booking the invasion angle. Well, kind of. We're not really booking the invasion angle, but that's the main angle going on. If anything, we're booking Sunday Night Heat. And yes, I know, I am a hypocrite. I said I wasn't going to record Sunday Night Heat. What's wrong with you, OMG, WTF, LOL, FTWBRB? You said you weren't going to do Sunday Night Heat, unless, of course, you guys wanted me to. Well, the truth is, nerds and geeks, I've decided that I am most likely going to record Sunday Night Heat, primarily because I plan on doing Sunday Night Heat exclusive rivalries. There are a lot of lesser-known superstars or superstars who wouldn't exactly give us the best ratings on Monday Night Raw, but I still would like to, try to push them up and get them a little bit over. And I feel like Sunday Night Heat might be the best way to do that. That way we can avoid the avoid like getting bad angles for both SmackDown and Raw, as well as pushing those talents. And the cool thing about Sunday Night Heat is we don't have to have a mayhem match or a car crash match or so on and so forth. We don't have to have a story-driven match on this show. And I'm assuming because it is a minor show that it doesn't really matter. Because if it's anything like 2013, which I don't know yet because this is my first Sunday Night Heat yet. But if it's anything like 2013, the minor shows don't affect your popularity at all. So even if you have a great show, it's not going to increase your popularity. And if you have a shit show, it's not going to decrease your popularity. So basically, that is my reasoning as to why we're going to be recording Heat. So we can have these Heat exclusive rivalries, as well as, pushing talent that necessarily you wouldn't want to see on a Monday Night Raw because they're not that great. And who knows, maybe we'll find our next star here on Sunday Night Heat. So either way, let's go ahead and run this show. Now, this episode shouldn't be as long as Monday Night Raw is. My apologies for how long Monday Night Raw is. 50-something minutes. That is ridiculous. I give it up to you guys who stuck through the whole video and watched it. If you guys skipped ahead and just saw the show, I don't blame you. Either way, not going to be that long. Here we have Sunday Night Heat. We have 3 pre-show matches in the opening, or on the show, I should say. So we have 3 pre-show matches to start off. Usually, I guess you wouldn't necessarily see Sunday Night Heat with pre-show matches. But again, as I said on Monday Night Raw, I don't want to put the WCW guys on TV yet, but I want to give them some momentum, so I'm going to be using pre-show matches to kind of get those guys some momentum building up. Not popularity, because I know it only increases in that area, but some momentum. So either way, we have a rating that gets us a D+ in a terrible pre-show match. The WCW Cruiserweight Champion Gregory Helms defeating K-Quick in 6 minutes and 40 seconds with a vertebreaker. K-Quick actually had the superior in-ring performance. I'm starting to believe now, though, that this is more rated on popularity than it is actually on in-ring performance. I could be wrong, but I have a hard time believing someone like K-Quick has better in-ring skills than Gregory Helms, but I could be wrong. I know Helms is currently an enhancement talent, so I did have to keep K-Quick protected in order for him to stop complaining. Normally I wouldn't care, but I don't know. I just decided to do it. Maybe I shouldn't have. Either way, we then go on to a C rating in a pre-show bout that had subpar wrestling and a little bit of heat. Lance Storm defeating Taka Michinoku with the Canadian Maple Leaf submission hold. Storm was the superior in-ring athlete with a C, and Taka Michinoku had a D. No worker improvements there. And then our main event of the pre-show also gets a C. In a poor pre-show match, the WCW Tag Team Champions Sean O'Haire and Chuck Palumbo defeating Hardcore Holly and Steve Blackman when Palumbo defeated Holly with the Torture Rack submission. So both O'Haire and Palumbo have a C rating, as well as Hardcore Holly and Steve Blackman with the D still. So here we move on to the actual start of Sunday Night Heat, and we start Sunday Night Heat in the backstage as we see all 3 members of X Factor. I almost said X-Pac, or X-Pac. That would actually be a cool team. X-Pac? Not X Factor. I know why they call him X Factor because that's the name, but X-Pac? That's not too bad. Anyway, all 3 members of X Factor are just backstage. They're all fooling around when we see Jerry Lynn, the former WWF Light Heavyweight Champion, if you watched Monday Night Raw. approaches them, and he's pretty angry as well. And he says, "Hey, Pac." And then X-Pac looks over and he says, "Oh, look, guys, it's, I'm sorry, I still don't know your name, but I do know you're the former light heavyweight champion since I beat you this past week on Raw, or this past Monday, I should say." And Lynn goes, "Yeah, that's not the way I remember it. I remember you stumbling around a lot until your buddies got involved and won the match. I had Jerry Lynn take a nice little pot shot at X-Pac for being not only drunk, but high in his match, saying he was stumbling around. Also taking that shot because Albert and Incredible basically got him the win. And X-Pac completely admits it. Okay, so what?" And then Jerry Lynn says, "So what? So I want another shot, since now I know what your game is." And then X-Pac goes, nah, you're not worthy of another shot. You see, you have to prove yourself. So, instead of facing me, you can face, and he looks over, and there is Just Incredible, and he says, "Just Incredible." And then, of course, Credible looks confused. Lyndon sizes up Credible a little bit, and he says, "Fine, that's what it takes. I'll see you out there." And that's our main event of the night. Jerry Lynn versus Just Incredible on Sunday Night Heat, everybody. What a main event. Surprisingly, the performance of Albert was good, so I'm assuming Albert has good menace skills. That's what I've been rating him on. I mentioned earlier that we were going to have Sunday Night Heat exclusive rivalries. I'm probably going to have X-Pac and Jerry Lynn be an exclusive Heat rivalry, with maybe having a few appearances here on SmackDown and such. But as of right now, it seems like this will be the Heat rivalry. So Jerry Lynn is showing more, or learning to show more charisma, so that's awesome. So we go on to our opening bout, which gets us a C-, and a bout that had decent in-ring action, or decent wrestling, but not much weighing heat. Albert defeating Al Snow with a flying leg drop. Jesus. So we got a C- here. Snow had a rating of C, and Albert had a rating of C-. Albert is also improving in performance skills, so just a way to kind of get Albert, not necessarily on TV. Oh, I forgot to turn on the dirt sheet. But not only that, but just, well, it is mostly a way to get Albert on TV and build him up. But directly after that whole thing, we see Albert come out, and then after the match is over, Albert just decides to beat him down even a little bit more, send an ultimate message. I'm Albert. I'm this big bad, I don't know what the hell he is, big bad monster. I couldn't tell you. I'm this big bad guy, and he's just beating down on Al Snow to add further insult to injury here. So we then go to a D+ match, and a terrible match. Oh boy. In a terrible match, Rhino defeated Hack Myers in 4 minutes and 3 seconds with a gore, making defense number 2 of his hardcore title. Oh no! Rhino sustained a pulled hamstring? That's not good. The crowd was against Hack Myers, chanting for him not to come back. So, Hack Myers, looks like you're not getting a contract. It did cool the crowd down, unfortunately. Rhino did have an in-ring performance of a B- compared to Hack's E-. So if any of you aren't familiar with Hack Myers, no, I did not hire a guy named Hack Myers under contract. Total Extreme 2016 has a new feature where you can borrow from local competitors or hire a local competitor, which means, as we had somebody in the tri-state area, and we hired them for a one-night appearance only to pretty much just job out to Rhino tonight. We're able to do this for every show and hire, just a guy to pretty much job. We're also able to do it for, what's it called? Developmental as well. We're able to borrow from Developmental, which I wish we could have done in Total Extreme Wrestling 2013, because that would have made NXT a lot easier to book. Either way, though, Hack, though, I only chose him because he looked like a hardcore kind of guy, but nope. He sustained a pulled hamstring, though. Hack Myers is improving in performance, though. There's that. Oh, boy. Rhino sustained a pulled hamstring in this match. Hack Myers has gotten some heat backstage because it was felt that his mistake caused Rhino to get hurt. It was most likely his mistake that caused Rhino to get hurt. So we then go to a D. Chyna comes down. She's issuing an open challenge to anyone in the back who has the courage to come out and face her in the ring for the WWF Women's Championship, since she's been hearing this rumor backstage that everyone is too afraid to face her. All of a sudden, an unfamiliar theme plays over the speakers as Sharmell, you guys may know who Sharmell is, she's the wife of Booker T, she was Queen Sharmell, She makes her way down to the ring, and she states that she's not afraid of some Xeno wannabe, and says that this is the moment she's been waiting for. And as of tonight, everyone will know the name Sharmell, pretty much. So I mentioned just a few seconds ago that we're able to borrow from Developmental. And, well, I did indeed borrow from Developmental. I borrowed Sharmell, who is actually our only female wrestler in Developmental. And I borrowed her to have her pretty much job out the Chyna. So we have our match. It's a D rating and a terrible match. Chyna defeating Sharmell with a powerbomb and makes defense number 1 of her women's championship. Sharmell is unfortunately not suited for her gimmick, but interesting enough here, though. Chyna and Sharmell have pretty good chemistry, and it lifted the match. That's interesting. Not enough selling was shown. It's mostly due to Sharmell, probably. It definitely cooled the crowd, and Chyna had the superior in-ring performance, not surprisingly. Chyna's improving in performance, and Sharmell is improving in both Rumble and performance. This is not a call-up for Sharmell, just literally someone to put over Chyna. Here we go. An A rating on Sunday Night Heat? What? Well, it's just a Raw rewind. That's pretty much just, recapping the events that took place between, Vince, Shane, Booker T, and The Rock, all those people, along with the two-man power trip and the Brothers of Destruction. Unfortunately, the announcing job by both Kevin Kelly and Scott Hudson, pretty weak. But then again, it was just an angle. It still got an A. That's impressive. So we go to our main event of the night. Oh boy, yeah, this is the main event, Nerds and Geeks. It gets a D+ rating and a poor match. Jerry Lynn defeating Justin Credible with a cross armbreaker submission move. That makes no sense. After interference by Pac. Let's just ignore that it was a submission hold. Maybe we can. Okay, we'll say X-Pac accidentally hit Justin Credible, which allowed Jerry Lynn to somehow lock in a cross arm breaker to get the win, pretty much, because this is X-Pac's fault. So Lynn had the... Oh, actually, no. Lynn and Credible both with the C- rating here. And Justin Credible is improving in performance. We go to our closing segment, which gets a D+. Jerry Lynn celebrating the victory when he's hit from behind by the WWF Light Heavyweight Championship by X-Pac, of course, as X-Pac, along with Justin Credible and Albert, begin to beat down on the former champion until Al Snow, the man who Albert beat up earlier in the night, races down to the ring with a steel chair in hand, chasing off the three men before they can do any more harm to Jerry Lynn. Again, Albert was good. Albert's a star here so far. Apparently, Jerry Lynn was used too much. We got a C rating? That's not a bad rating. And Jerry Lynn was not used enough. Oh, SmackDown is taped on the same night, isn't it? Yep. SmackDown is taped on the same night as Heat. So, yeah. We're going to go ahead and, I guess, start booking SmackDown after I end off this episode. So, before we end off SmackDown, we did have some locker room incidents for Sunday Night Heat that I completely forgot to show off. I am going to try to show these off. Sorry, I forgot. Or I almost forgot. I didn't forget because it's in the episode. Either way, we had two incidents. One of them was actually pretty bad. We had Charles Robinson, who is my favorite referee, Little Nate. He has some heat on him because apparently he's extremely selfish, Nerds and Geeks. So he gave him a stern warning. Nothing too serious happened out of it. And Tori Wilson organized and won a video game tournament. I don't know how true that would be, but that is apparently what happened. So yeah, Charles Robinson being selfish, as you can see right here. Tori Wilson video game tournament. It doesn't seem like we have any, what is this? Oh, look at this. We can, that's interesting. Could have locker room controls. I'm not going to do anything with that, but we have no locker room incidents is what I'm going with, so we won't see any for SmackDown. Either way, Nerds and Geeks, that's going to be the end of this episode. I'll most likely upload this with the Monday Night Raw, so my apologies for uploading a 50-minute video and then another most likely 15-minute video, the most here. But if you watched it, you're dedicated. If not, I don't blame you. Either way, Nerds and Geeks, my name's been OMGWTF, LOL, FTW, BRB, and I'll see you guys for Friday Night SmackDown. So until then, have a good day.